That was Michelle Williams with Say Yes on Get Up Mornings. I'm Erica Campbell, and Miss Michelle Williams is a Grammy-nominated singer and actress. She rose to stardom as a member of the mega group Destiny's Child. You've also seen her in Broadway shows like Aida, Chicago, and The Color Purple. Her new book, Checking In, How Getting Real About Depression Saved My Life and Can Save Yours Too. It drops today. She's here. Good morning, Michelle.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good.
In your new book, you share this never-before-told story of how, in the midst of success, you battle depression. What inspired you to share this story with the world right now?
I was telling my publisher, I was like, why are we releasing this right now? Erica, we come from the age of in-store signings where people buy your music, you go, and not knowing that, we are 13, 14 months into a pandemic and people are really struggling and hurting right now.
Yeah.
And so we were like, you know what, this is going to be prayerfully a perfect tool for people that are really hurting, maybe feel like you need a few answers that can help you, because I'm not a doctor, I can't diagnose or assess, but hopefully it's something that can get you going to say, you know what, I'm going to try this therapy thing out.
And, you've encouraged so many people to do it. I started therapy in 2020 as well. And I was telling people that there was nothing technically wrong, but something wasn't right. And how did you start paying more attention to your emotions, to your thoughts and all those things? How did that come about?
Who started paying attention to them? There was one particular incident back in 2012-ish, 2011-ish, and it was a reaction to something. I wouldn't say it was an overreaction, but it was a reaction that was totally out of character. Now, I had a right to be angry at this situation, but the response was like, whoa, like I could have ended up probably in jail had I carried it out. So it was bad.
Wow.
And it's like, now good and well, if you got pulled over for a traffic stop, you'd be boo-hooing, calling on Jesus, let alone, having to go to jail for something very serious. So you have to check and say, I've never responded like this, and I don't want this to happen again. I need to go talk to somebody about this.
People may not understand how you can have fame and fortune and be successful yet depressed. Can you share just a bit of that story with us?
Absolutely. By the way, the music industry did not make me depressed. Destiny's Child did not make me depressed. This was because folks is like,
right. Thank you for that.
This was something that I had been dealing with since the 7th grade. But I did not get a diagnosis until I was in my 30s.
Wow.
So imagine you've been dealing with something all these years, and you kind of coped on your own, but you probably coped in unhealthy ways, and so it's just kind of culminated, built on top of each other over years and years and years and years. So this was something I had been dealing with for a long time, but since 2018, it's now something that I deal with. I treat daily. I got therapy after I get off the phone with y'all.
Wow.
So it's something that I continue to do. I really focus on my mental health.
We're talking to the Grammy-nominated Michelle Williams. Her new book, Checking In, drops today. And when we come back, I'll talk a little bit more about mental health challenges and how it affects relationships. Not long ago, you ended an engagement. Can you stick around a little longer?
Sure.
All right, guys. We're going to talk more with Michelle Williams on Get Up Mornings. Y'all stick around. It gets better and better. It's Get Up Mornings, loving Jesus and loving you. That's what we do all morning long. Hey guys, listen, same-day COVID vaccine appointments are now available at Walgreens. Visit walgreens.com/ourshot to schedule an appointment. We're talking to the Grammy-nominated Michelle Williams today. Her new book, Checking In, drops today, and it is available wherever books are sold. All right, before we went to break, we were talking about you ended a pretty public engagement, and I understand that you struggle with low moods. What's the difference between depression and low moods?
It's crazy because both can be the same, because you can have situational depression. Situational depression can be you lost a job, you ended a relationship, you lost a parent or something. And so, sadness is a natural response to those situations. A mood definitely has something to do with your emotions, and your mood can be controlled by a circumstance, like
For sure.
a relationship. It can be, it's like somebody's always irritating you, and it can affect your mood if you don't have the tools to not let it affect you in such a bad way.
Let's talk a little bit about the engagement. We were all watching and cheering, and then we were all devastated. Tell us what it was like on your end.
On my end, well, first of all, as my mother would say, you had no business doing it.
Mama.
you had no business doing it, and it some things are a result of me not listening to my gut, or maybe church mother would say that was the Holy Spirit telling you not to do it. Not to do the show. And I not saying that I blame the show, but I feel like it put some stress on the relationship that we just could not recover from.
I know we were talking earlier about the other day, actually, about me knowing people who have literally gone to the altar knowing that they shouldn't do it, but it was so much pressure. They had already paid the money. Everybody knew, and they couldn't walk away. What tips would you give someone that needs to make that kind of big decision?
Well, when I say we shouldn't have done it, I meant we shouldn't have done the TV show. Because I know we would have gotten married. But as far as that could be in the same thing, you went down the altar, or you've already signed the contracts to do something. You have a right to just say no. You have the right to say, you have the right to say this isn't right. If they sue you, sue me.
Wow.
God's going to step in somehow.
Wow. How did you break free? That's really, really good. How did you break free from depression? Because, I mean, I'm watching your social media, and you just seem so bright and so vibrant, and you're encouraging so many people, and so many people are like, I can finally be honest about this. How did you get free?
Some of the work is on us. It's our responsibility to do the work, because you got to get to a point where you're not blaming people. And you also have to get to a point where you decide to not blame yourself anymore. When we blame stuff, that's what kindergartners do. Sally hit me with a pencil.
Yes.
Okay. So somebody might have hurt you yesterday. Now I have the tools to say, am I going to let this affect me and make me depressed? Absolutely not. Depression is a thief. Depression robs you of joy.
Yes.
It robs you of opportunities, and it just robs you of. And I'm just telling you what it robs me of. Those are the things that rob me of joy, opportunities, and productivity. So there are situations, and life will continue to happen. I won't hold y'all on, but a couple weeks ago, I felt like I was depressed again. And so me and my therapist were talking, and she was like, no, darling, what you're describing to me is pressure. Your book is coming out. And I was like, oh, my gosh, because I'm feeling like, well, are people going to like it? How are the first week numbers going to do? Blah, 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 blah. And so it was pressure. She said, had it gone unchecked, it would have turned into depression.
We're talking to Ms. Michelle Williams this morning. Her new book, Checking In, drops today. When we come back, we'll switch gears a little bit. I want to talk about you on The Masked Singer. And I heard that you were on Zoom when Kelly Rowland gave birth. Then I have to ask you about some more music. More with Michelle Williams up next on Get Up Mornings. It's Get Up Mornings. I'm Erica Campbell, and we're talking to the Grammy-nominated Michelle Williams today. Her new book, Checking In, drops today. Listen, she's been a blessing already, but we got a little more time with her. This book is available everywhere books are sold, so make sure you pick it up. Thanks again for being with us this morning, Michelle.
Oh, thank y'all for having me. This has been an amazing conversation.
Yeah, really, really good.
Nice.
Now I want to talk about you being on The Masked Singer. How fun was that? Oh my God, the costume was so amazing.
Ooh, it was a blast. One of my top 3 things I've ever done.
Wow.
Wow.
And Erica, we are always having to get in hair and makeup. So I think what I liked about it the most was I didn't have to have my hair done, my makeup done. I could just go to the studios. You put your costume on because, or in rehearsals. Not that I had my butterfly costume on in all of the rehearsals, but, you could no one could know who you are. So you had to be covered from your head to your feet. No skin showing. Sound like holiness. Sound like holiness to me. You couldn't show your
yes,
skin.
God.
So it was so much fun. I think we would love, we wouldn't know if it was really you, Erica, but we would love if you took a mask off and we saw that it was you.
Wow.
Come on.
Let me talk to my
Dress
team
her
and
up
see
like
what
a
they can
bumblebee.
do. Like a what, Griff? You so stupid.
A bumblebee.
You know what?
That is hilarious. Listen, I know you are still friends with the girls, Destiny's Child, Beyonce and Kelly, and I understand that you were on Zoom while Kelly gave birth. Is that true?
Ooh, yes. It was definitely a unique invitation.
Wow.
Definitely, but it just speaks to our relationship, and giving birth during a pandemic it was rough. Yeah. Kelly thrives on connection with people. She's definitely extroverted, and so extroverts love to be around people, and to know that none of her friends could be around when she was having birth, or sometimes, to meet her at her house with all the balloons and all of that stuff because of the pandemic. And so it was literally just a time for us to be there with her. And y'all, Kelly a G. I mean, I think she pushed twice, and baby Noah was here.
Oh, wow.
She is so strong, and it was beautiful.
Wow. And how is B doing?
She is doing good. FaceTime the other day. She's always, working on stuff in the studio, just, cooking up stuff.
I love that you guys maintain friendships. All the movies that you see about groups, they have to come back together because somebody was bitter and somebody was mad. It's really beautiful to see that you guys don't have that story, that women can work together and be friends, go on and be successful in other areas and celebrate and support each other. I think it's absolutely amazing. Okay, everybody wants to know, are you going to record another project? When will we see you doing music again?
Oh, that's a good question. Maybe I would like to do something maybe this year. Now, I don't want to do a whole album. I don't want to do all that anymore. But I just want to go do something, and we'll, give people music. That's it.
Good. Well, listen, we'll be waiting for that. In the meantime, we'll keep following you on social media at Michelle Williams and getting this book, Checking In. It's available everywhere books are sold. Thank you for being with us this morning.
Thank you.
Absolutely. All right, guys, get the book and then do a refresh on all her music. Go to iTunes, Spotify, and just download everything by Michelle Williams. I promise you it'll bless your life. Thank you for being with us again.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. It's Get Up Mornings, y'all. We'll keep faith walking.
Love talking.
And joy living on Get Up Mornings.
You're listening to Get Up Mornings with Erica Campbell.